I went and watched, I sat down and watched West Coast and Melbourne on the back of, the story that broke late last week about these text messages. It's a little funny sort of story, but it's not funny, but it's one of those distractions you don't need. So I sat down and the game started. I couldn't help but think, who sent the text messages? That's what I'm looking at. I'm watching the game, I'm going, well, will we see in the actions of a player, because it said that there were 3 disgruntled players who sent text messages saying they didn't want Adam Simpson as coach. Was he one? Was Jermaine Jones one? Couldn't be bothered putting his hands up as the bloke has a shot for mark. So my mind goes, maybe he's one. Witherden, he done tackle and chase. Was he one? This is the dangerous stuff that comes with this. We had a look at this one. We think this was a group WhatsApp. So the whole group of them there. Ran through them, ran through another 6, just wandered around Bailey Fritsch. I'm thinking maybe it's one of those 3. And this might be unfair because the players will be sitting there going, well, it wasn't me, I didn't send it. But your actions then tell us whether you're invested. Three players get involved in this. 3 players all go to the bloke on the ground, spit one out the back. That's just stupid. And then this is the one, and you're looking, I could have run through the whole team, to be honest, but have a look at this. What's Bailey Williams doing? Is he one? Did he send the text message? Because look at him. What's this? Did you send it, Bailey? I mean, this is what he's got to deal with his footy club now, because they're said to have been true. Then you watch those performances. Now, some of those players might, they might feel affronted. Well, bad luck. You get judged on your effort, and it's been too long. It's too little for too long now, and Adam Simpson's going to cop it in the neck at some stage. That's just the reality, and players will get off scot-free.
We'll never find out if it's WhatsApp, Gaz. That's encrypted, so you're not going to be able to find that out, okay?
That was Mikey's line, by the way. I pinched it.
Well, you have stumbled on something, though, because when you get tarred with that, there'll be 3, if it's fact, there'll be 3 that sent it. There would have been 19 or 20 guys running around thinking, people think it's me.
That's right.
And that does have an emotional impact on a player, and that can affect effort. You've got to be stronger than that in your professionalism and your personal pride to do that, but there would be some individuals that it would affect.
That leads to us sitting back making judgments like we did then, and then Adam Simpson's got to front up at the press conference and face the questions.
Mindset's fine. It doesn't change. Like we're not on a linear path here. This is not. We finished last year, so your expectations of us last year, I'm not sure what they were, but ours was, let's just get better. I don't change. I'm here to do a job as best I can, and I'll do that until I get tapped on the shoulder. That's not really in question. So I sort of know how long the road's going to be. I'm up for it, but if the club's not, then they're not. So that's fine. I'm okay with my football mortality. It's okay.
He's a premiership coach. He'll go down as a great at the West Coast Eagles Footy Club, but he's dealing with these sorts of numbers at the moment, which will get you in time. And sadly for Adam Simpson, he's okay with his footy mortality, and I guess he understands it's a pretty brutal game.
Seems resigned.
It sounded like it.
Yeah, it seems resigned, Don Pikes. Ironically, Don Pikes now the boss and would be pulling all the strings there from a football point of view at the West Coast Eagles. Don Pike started back in football as Adam Simpson's assistant coach. Back in 2014,
the wheel turns,
the wheel turns. So, frustrating. Look, senior players have got to wear it, past and present, because they receive fat contracts around that 2018 premiership time, and standards drop, Gaz. No question about that. You don't have to be in the 4 walls to see that.
West Coast aren't feeling it. So there's a couple of supporter bases who aren't in this field this season. They're one. So it's a weird sense around them, isn't it? Feels like it's become a sense of inevitability, and it's not the usual angst, although there is some of that. It's more sort of a gentle pathway to a parting of company. Now, whether that's at the end of the year or sooner, that's probably the question in the balance.
There's always unhappy players, especially when we're out of contention so early for finals. So there's out-of-contract players, there's guys playing in reserves. There's always someone who's disgruntled. We can't apologise for trying to get better. So you'd be pretty upset if everyone was really happy. I'm here to do a job as best I can, and I'll do that until I get tapped on the shoulder. So it's not, that's not really in question. So I sort of know how long the road's going to be. I'm up for it, but if the club's not, then they're not. So that's fine. I'm okay with my football mortality. It's okay.
That's a rare statement, isn't it?
Oh, it's a very rare statement. I thought he handled the text message story really well pre-game. I thought he handled it really well post-game. Everyone out here, just settle down. Everyone thinks that everything's hunky-dory in football club, and it's not. We've got enough former players here, Jared, who tell you that things aren't always happy in football clubs, winning or losing. That comment about, I'm happy with my own mortality, I can't remember a coach speaking like that. You use the word, the sense of inevitability. I feel that. I think Adam Simpson may be feeling it. I don't want to put words into his thinking, but the way he spoke on the weekend, hey, it's okay. It's okay. I reckon I can do it, but if not, it's been great. We spoke last Wednesday night before the game about if it was going to end, how do you end this? I don't think sacking Adam Simpson right now is the way to go. The sackings are always bloody, Jared. It's, Simpson sacked and Simpson gone. He's a premiership coach now. Someone said to me, he goes, well, how long does that tag last for? Well, it lasts forever, in fact, because there's not many premiership coaches. And he's been there and he's given his all, him and his family. What's 6 more games? They've lost, they're 853 since 2022. They could jag a couple and they might lose another 5. Do we want to treat him indignantly now and say, get out? See you later? I don't know if that's the Eagles' way, to be honest.
I think they would. I think the ideal would be to chair him out of the place. Now, whether that's a final game at home in front of the people who you've led for so long, where still a critical mass of their community is with him. This isn't. There are the disgruntled. But this isn't the pitchforks.
No,
of
it's
the
not.
place.
It's not.
It's just a recognition that this is probably coming to an end. So I think you want, if possible, you want whatever that last day is to look right. The only reason you would do it in season is if you wanted to test somebody on the coaching staff for 6 weeks to lead the program.
Well, Dean Cox.
In your thinking.
Well, Dean Cox.
If it's Dean Cox outside, then it's easy. You run the course for the rest of the season, and then you go for a coach. It's only if you want to test somebody on your own coaching staff, or if things completely fell apart, which I think at quarter time we were on alert for that.
Absolutely, we were.
With the backdrop of I think the text message story is used unfairly against him, but it's there. If they lose by 120 points, I feel like you probably, in real time, you're going, well, that might be the end. But they dug in and they fought their way through the rest of the game. They have to get some gains. It's still too big a portion of a season to throw away. You've got to make progress over 7 games. You only get to play 23 a season. So they have to continue, whatever their markers are, they have to continue to meet them. I liked Simpson's statement that you wouldn't want everyone to be happy, given the circumstances that you just detailed. It should feel a little bit cutthroat in there. And if there are some who are jilted on the wrong side of it, bad luck.
He's got to look to the future. He's been looking to the future. Maybe they say, Adam, it is all over at the end of the year. We don't want to sack you. How can we work together? And how about you play kids and give them games and see how we go and just release the pressure valve, which I'm sure exists. We've been around long enough to see the pressure build up on football clubs, and it might just release some of the internal pressure. But it's a big... what can you say? I think it's inevitable.